Hey guys, welcome back to the Cast and Spear podcast. My name is John. Today we have back on the show Captain Ben Choi. We're going to be doing a deep dive into spearfishing with sharks. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So tell me, how bad is the whole shark problem over there in Florida right now?
I've been spearfishing in Florida for over 15 years now. I'm 31 years old. I can honestly say the last 5 years, the sharks have gotten so much worse to the point where, if it continues on this trend, it's definitely going to be a safety issue, and someone's going to get bit. Pretty bad spearfishing. Um, we've had a big explosion in the population of sharks, even to the point where the director of NOAA Fisheries has said these certain shark species are no longer threatened and are overpopulated in I don't know if it's the Gulf or the Atlantic, but he said that there's too many of them, and there's going to be a problem with them in the future.
Which
Um,
sharks are we talking about?
I'll be honest with you. I don't really know. Sandbars, we have a lot of problems with sandbars. We have a lot of problems with duskies. Obviously, the bulls get very, very aggressive in the summer. In the Caribbean, in the Bahamas, sorry, the Caribbean reef sharks, those have been a problem for a few years now. When I dive in the Bahamas, you see every year. It's like, I think last year, 8 people got bit in the Bahamas by sharks. Um, I was in Green Turtle when this kid got bit. We saw him in the bar the night before, and the next day he got bit by a freaking shark. Um, I've got good buddies that live around here who have gotten bit in Spanish K, and the only reason that he survived is because they had a boat that did 65, 70 miles an hour, and they were able to get it back to the United States as soon as possible. Um,
That's
so
scary.
I think the problem with the sharks here is that in the recent years, the fisheries regulators have shut down commercial longlining for sharks. And I'm not saying that commercial longlining for sharks was a good idea, um, to the point where they were, but it was keeping the population in check. We just have so much food source over here. We have so many fish over here for them to eat that I don't think they have. I think they have the potential to really explode, before the population starts to diminish, just by the sheer numbers. Um, I think a lot of the sharks around us right now are learning human behavior. Um, a lot of the shark tours on the East Coast have totally altered, shark behavior, natural shark behavior. A lot of these guys get paid thousands of dollars a day to take tourists out from all around the world. People fly from all around the world to West Palm Beach to pay these guys, to see sharks. And so these sharks are associating food with humans. And when they see that, they're trained to the sound of spear guns. These guys have them trained just to even like be in a certain area, and they know they're going to get fed. So it's not that bad in my area right now, but I would hate to see it become like that in the future. And I think that's where we're headed.
I've seen that guy, I don't know if you've seen him on Instagram, Mark the Shark. I mean, he gets
Yeah,
so much hate, but it's like, he was actually saying the population over here, most people just don't know. Like everybody sees the dead shark, but then they're just like, "Oh, that's horrible. We should never do that." But at the end of the day, it's like you guys are so in tune with your fishery that, and he takes those sharks and gives it to the homeless, as food. But I'm like, so what he's saying is actually true. Like there's just, oh, it's just too many at some point.
I don't know if Mark's message is 100%, true, but I do agree with him that there are way too many sharks right now in his area, in my area, and the population is exploding, and that there needs to be something to be done about it. Um, I think that, yeah, like I said, it's going to become a safety issue. But I think a lot of it has to do with the commercial guys keeping that number down, in the past. And now that there's not enough commercial fishing pressure, those populations are just skyrocketing.
What were the commercial guys doing with those sharks? Were they for like something specific?
I mean, they're selling them, right? Obviously the fins are highly prized.
Okay, for the
Uh,
soup and things like that.
they sell them to China, but they sell They sell the fins, and they sell the meat too.
So then now that you know that it's a safety issue and you've had these like scares, is there any specific tips and tricks to prevent like this from happening, like you get hurt while you're diving?
I think the shark shield is a good solution. For guys to have shark shield products. It's an electric shark deterrent because it works off of their ampullae of Lorenzini, puts out an electric field in the water that they can't really deal with, and so it hurts them and they go away. But I think a lot of the local guys down here are resorting to, defending themselves with power heads and stuff like that. The best tips and tricks I can say is, take solid shots on your fish. Um, Try to stone your fish. Try to keep them from fighting too much, to putting out, a lot of distress into the water. Um, I think a lot of it has to do with, them once that shark becomes associates humans and, a diver with food, then you're gonna have a big problem with that shark coming in over and over and over again. Another thing that I can say is, when you see a shark, don't act like prey, and, like, be very mindful of your body language, be very mindful of your posture. Swim at the shark, be the aggressor. Don't let him be the apex predator. Don't act like prey. Swim at that shark and show him that, and if he gets too close, just poke him with your spear gun. It's not going to hurt them, but it's going to show them that, they're not, that you're not their prey, like that you're the apex predator.
Do you carry a tourniquet with you in the water or on the boat?
On the boat, yeah, at all times. Yeah. Tourniquet and blood clotting powder.
That's super smart. Um, Regarding, what was I gonna go with this? I'm trying to think of like the power heads. What is that? Is that just like you shoot them and it kind of has an explosive charge and then boom?
Yeah. So there's two types. There's slip-ons, and there's other kinds that you use as a bang stick. Pretty much they go on a shaft. They screw onto a threaded shaft, and you shoot it at the fish. But we slip on power heads. It has either a 223, a 44 mag, or an actual 7.62 by 54 Russian round. Um, and it's not really the bullet that does the damage to whatever target it is. It's the channeling of the gases, the gas expansion that really, you know, rips through that tissue and kills the fish.
And that's totally legal or
Well, it's legal. It's legal to defend yourself. If your life is in danger, I'm not saying that you should go out and target every single shark in the Gulf, but, if you think that you're defending yourself as a personal protective device, then yeah, it's 100% legal.
so is that something that like okay, I'm down there, you're at your 140, you have your spear, you shoot the fish, then you see a shark coming and that's when you kind of take out a special shaft with the power head if you need it, or is it how do you make that transition?
Yeah, I use slip-on power heads. They slip over the tip, and they use the point of the spear as the firing pin. So just the compression of, the spear hitting it, the power head hitting the shark, it just goes over the tip. So the power head hits the shark, and then the spear hits it hits the primer, and it deploys the charge, of the bullet, instead of a hammer like in a gun. It hits the primer.
That's
As a
fascinating. I think I watched an old video. Somebody posted it on Instagram where it was kind of like the 1950s or no, something right when like just color TV was out and they were showing this like very remote area, a couple guys going out there, and then they're like, "Oh, the sharks are getting all crazy," so they had to shoot the power head. And I'm like, I have no idea that this is still in use. This is intense.
Yeah,
It's kind of
yeah.
scary.
It's become um, a very big thing for the dive shops to sell around here, just because the sharks are getting so bad.
Oh, that's fascinating. Well, thank you so much for educating us on the whole shark situation down there and how to dive with them. Tomorrow we are going to have Captain Ben Choi talk about fish prep and all the things that are associated with how to make sure that the meat from the fish that you catch is epic. Thanks for being on the show. Hey, one more thing before you go. If you're on the socials, the Instagrams, the TikToks, the other platforms, follow us, say hi, at Cast and Spear all over the place. That's at CASTANDSPEAR. I'll see you over there. Chat soon.